everybody, it's Josh with Talk About Trek, and welcome back to another exciting edition of Warp Tuesday. I know you're all excited to be here for Warp Tuesday, right? This is the show, of course, we come on every week to talk about whatever it is in the world of Star Trek that I feel like talking about today. This time, it's going to be a very exciting edition. I'll give you a little bit of a preview here. Check this out. Stay tuned until the end, because we're going to be looking through, you got it. We've got ourselves 3 Starlog magazines, right? Now we're saving this fun until the end, guys. 3, and I've marked some particular places here. And we also have a Fantastic Films and Other Imaginative Media, which has some interesting bits from the motion picture in there that I would like to show you all. So we're going to look at some magazines, but that's going to come later. What we're going to start the show with here will be a little bit of a Star Trek news roundup. What is going on in the world of Talk About Trek and Star Trek? Well, unfortunately, not a lot, right? So we finally do have a release date for Strange New Worlds, and I think that's going to be the 17th of July. Yes, July 17th. So that is that's what we have as Star Trek fans to look forward to. There's our next thing. But there is a lot, there's a lot of other stuff that does go on in the world of Star Trek that we can talk about. And one thing that is particularly close to home for me here is this. As you can see, and we've talked about this last week, the Neutral Zone, which is a fan group that does, fan films. They have their complete TOS set. I say complete, but it's huge. I don't know exactly how huge. They've got a lot of stuff there, right? And they have this set up in the Sandusky Mall in Sandusky, Ohio, which is practically in my backyard. And they have, or basically now are just ending their Indiegogo campaign here. So they are looking to get funding for their first fan film, which at this point they do have a title for. The title is Hereafter, right? So as you can see, there's multiple different options you can do. So I'm just here today. First thing we'll talk about is I am a backer. I decided, what the heck, right? These people are right in my backyard. I'm going to sign up. So I went ahead and I signed up for the fan film walk on roll perk here. So I have no idea when I'll be able to see that, but it is such a cool thing. It even, I like, you don't know what you're going to be, right? When you start off doing this, you don't know how long it's going to take or when it's going to happen. But at some point, I'm going to be able to go and watch a Star Trek fan film, and I'm going to be like, hey, look at me. There, it's me in the background hanging out. I'm pressing a button on the wall, or I'm pulling some lever on the Enterprise, or I'm some dead guy on the floor, maybe. I don't know. It could be one of anything. But also, it's just going to be cool to be there, to be part of the production, and, I'm just happy to support them, and I encourage anyone else who is watching this video to do the same. So I will go ahead and leave a link for that below, and that way you guys can, if you're interested, become a backer. You can go for as little as $20 and just be, a credit. You can join the crew. You can do second assistant camera, many different options, right? So, or you could even be a dead guy on the floor with me, We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Anyway, it goes. It's going to be fun. I'm definitely looking forward to, meeting the crew and just seeing how that all goes. So, now, what else is going on in the world of Star Trek? Say, if you wanted to know, right, where would you go? Of course, you would go to StarTrek.com, right? So, let's go to StarTrek.com and just have a look at it, right? Because, it is an interesting website. I like the look of some of it. Some of it I don't like at all, right? They do do a lot of interesting articles. So if you're into that, and to be honest, I don't read a lot of articles. I should read more of these articles to learn more about these little things. But when one is very interesting to me, I might read it. But if that's your thing, there's a bunch to do there. But let's go ahead and just click on the Star Trek news. Of course, we've got Strange New Worlds, as I said, coming July 17th. 10 episodes. 10 episodes. Man, I wish not. I miss 90s Trek, We're never going to have those 25 to 30 episode seasons again, right? This is the future, and that's okay. So this is season 3. They've already been renewed for a 4th season. The trailer? Can we watch the trailer? I think we can watch the trailer, right? Come on. Let's watch the trailer together. And I can react, right? Okay, so right away, I kind of like what I'm seeing there, right? That's pretty cool. I like the look here. This kind of retro, very cool look. So I think I know. I'm going to talk over this. If you want to see it yourself, you can just watch it yourself. All right, holodeck, very cool. Wait, who's that guy? He looked familiar. Here we go. Look. Murder mystery episode of Star Trek. I think that's a new one. And I like that Strange New Worlds, they had the musical episode of Star Trek too, so now they're going to do a murder mystery episode of Star Trek. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that. So. And of course, it just looks cool, right? It just looks cool. Oh, that Gorn. Miss Scotty. Alright, so yeah, that's our look at Strange New Worlds Season 3. I think it looks cool. I'm looking forward to it. The last episode, or the last season, left off, with they're in trouble with the Gorn. So, of course, it's going to kick off finishing that up. And then kind of jump into these little bottle episodes. And then I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, I guess I don't know how they're going to do it. Is there going to be an overarching theme that goes through each episode that's going to build up to some ending then? I'm hoping for another cliffhanger. I love that. They should do that every time. Cliffhanger right to the next season, right? So anyway, that's coming up. Rhys Darby. I think that guy, where I was like, who is that guy? I think that guy was Rhys Darby. Who was in Flight of the Conchords, and a lot of funny stuff, right? Anyway, that's what we got going on as far as TV Star Trek. Now there is, where did I see this? Not listed here, because I don't think it's broke yet, but there's word of a kind of a YouTube animated Starfleet Adventures kind of thing coming on, Starfleet Scouts. So I don't know much about that yet, but as I learn more, we'll let you guys know. So again, let's just kind of look through what they got going on here on StarTrek.com. A series of articles. All right, now this upsets me, right? This doesn't upset me, I guess, but this is StarTrek.com. This is their main page, and this is their merch. They want to sell you something. This is their headline of their merch page. Star Trek, Section 31, original movie soundtrack to release digitally on February 14th. That's amazing. It's May 20th. Why is this still their headline? Can somebody please tell me what the heck they're thinking here? Anyway, I've looked through. There's no other big news on their merch here as well, so nothing very exciting there. But in the publishing section, I actually found some things that I thought we should talk about here. 3 brand new Star Trek comic limited series coming, and this one actually seems pretty cool, and kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys ever got into like the little cards. There was like a series that had dinosaurs. They were very gory, and of course there was the Mars Attacks cards. But I'm getting this vibe from this. This is a comic about a series of, basically red shirts and how they all gruesomely get killed, right? So that seems like it's going to be a fairly interesting concept for a comic, right? And like, look at the art too. The art looks very cool. So, here we go. Oh no, they gotta fight a Mugato. Like, I'm really kind of digging this. So this is one I am definitely gonna pick up. You know, I kind of stopped picking up all the other ones just because there was way too much to keep up. So I don't know how much I'll get into the Seeds of Salvation here, but Voyager Homecoming. This picks up apparently right after the last episode ends, which, I mean, to me, that sounds fantastic. I think this is a 5-issue limited series, and this is coming out in September. So on the comic horizon, photo covers on a comic, black. I don't like it. Anyway, that all sounds very cool. I especially like this cover. That is awesome. Let me see. Well, Red Shirts is launching in August, so that will be coming a little bit sooner, and we'll definitely tell our comic book guy to get that on the list, right? All right, so we looked at articles, we looked at merch. We're into publishing now, and games. Okay, so first off, publishing, there is this little cute Klingon book coming out. So, I don't know, this is coming out September 2nd. And I don't know, these things are always fun to pick up. There's usually funny little jokes in here. So, look, he's going to the dentist here. Got Gorn food. He's feeding a baby Gorn. Ironing his laundry. You know, typical day-to-day Klingon behavior, right? So, we got that coming out. Now, this actually, I thought this was pretty interesting. Now, first off, the games section here is terrible too. But I mean, what else do they have to talk about? So right here, this is actually interesting. Here on the bottom, all this stuff came out months ago. All this is like months old news. And I get that they don't have anything else to talk about, but man, they should do something. You know, have someone write an article on a old Star Trek game. You know, something like that. Anyway, this sounds pretty cool. Star Trek Adventures, which does the tabletop Star Trek game, is coming out with a solo game, Captain's Log. So, 326-page full-color standalone digest rulebook provides a complete streamlined version of the award-winning 2D20 system. So, a game that you can play by yourself if you don't have anyone to play with, which is my problem. I mean, I don't have anyone to... I mean, I have people I can play with, but it's hard to do and find the time. So something like this would be cool, just to throw in a little bit here and a little bit there, because you wouldn't have to worry about setting up and, you know, meeting other people and that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely going to pick up one of these, and once I do, I'll get into it. Let you guys know what I think, and then, you know, it might be something you would want to pick up as well. But I like the idea here too. Let me see if I can kind of zoom this up here. Look at this. Let's get a little bit bigger here. So they give you a little bit of kind of an excerpt from the book here. Gosh, I keep losing the page. Roll for an era, roll for a ship. So, I mean, that sounds fun to me, right? Roll for an era, roll for your ship, and then just kind of play out that adventure, however that plays out. So, all right, let's go back 100%. Okay, here we go. So that actually sounded pretty interesting. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And I didn't bother to read when it's actually coming out. Let me see. And in the article it says it is coming out August 2023. Oh, interesting. If I wanted, I could pre-order this right now and get a digital copy. I might visit modifist.net later and check that out. I could be role-playing tonight. Anyway, I'll look into that and see. That was something that I thought that would be fun to get into. And then that's it. That is your StarTrek.com here. What is this? Dive into the making of Star Trek 3. Oh, well, it's an interesting book for that, I guess. And Star Trek Explorer, the magazine, you know. Anyway, I don't get into the new magazines as much, but you know what I do like to get into is the old magazines. So like I said before, we've got ourselves a Star Log, October, and this is from I don't see where it says the year. But anyway, this is a Starlog, and I will, when you go to the flea market or whatever, you will see stacks of these, and if I see Trek on the cover and the price is decent, I will pick it up and I will see what they've got inside, because sometimes you will find some funny little things. So I've marked out a couple in here that we're going to look at here. So here's a funny little comic. This is the emergency medical holographic system to Captain Janeway. I'm not very happy. And as you can see, he's got a shoe on his head, a foot for a hand, and a hand for a foot. So something's not quite going right there. And then we got another cute one here of a Ferengi sitting at home in his chair reading Ferengi Boy. So I like both of those. That was pretty good. And then this one contains a nice article here on Mr. Worf. And I skimmed it, and I did like this little bit right here. To be perfectly honest, it's work, and you can't beat work. I love that Michael Dorn, right? It's like, hey, it's a job. It's a job, and I'm going to take that job. And, very glad that he did, too, right? All right, so we're not going to get into all the rest of that one, so let's get that out of the way. But look at the back here. Let me get myself. Focus! There we go. Okay. Announcing the 1995 limited edition Star Trek Keepsake Magic Ornament, the Romulan Warlord. Where is it? Ah, shown cloaked. I got that anyway. So anyway, here in the next one, I noticed that we have, boom, Terry Farrell up there in the corner. And this was a March issue. I don't know what year, but that's fine. We're just going with it. And right in here, sorry for shaky cam, we've got Tiny Trek Adventures. Of course, a takeoff of Tiny Toon Adventures. But look, that's fantastic. I would have never seen that if I had not opened up this book. And then, I've never read Asimov's Foundation series, but Patrick Stewart attempts a more challenging one-man stage show. Which novel is he on now? I don't know. I lost track halfway through Foundation and Empire. Oh, yeah, all of it. So it must be a very long series, and that is the joke. All right, so what else we got here? We've got a few more of these little tiny comics here. Check this out. A scene we didn't see from Unification. The search for the missing ambassador, Spock, goes seriously awry. Yes, Data, he is very wise. He has pointed ears and is green, but... So that's pretty interesting. All right, now this one's going to be hard to show you. This is like reminding me of something that came out of like a freaking Bazooka Joe, one of these tiny little comics. But the top 10 mean things that they're going to do to Wesley at the Academy, right? So here we go. See if we can read any of that. Let's see. Can we read number 7 at least? When the Borg arrive demanding a subject to experiment on, they volunteer him immediately. Let's see. And we'll get down to number 1. What's number 1? Make his first diplomacy project be to settle a dispute between a Gorn and a Klingon. So, just a cute little comic, right? That I would have never seen if I hadn't stopped to pick this up. So, glad that I did, and I always will. I always will browse through these. And we had a nice article here on Terry Farrell in the end. Oh, God, this shaky cam is awful. Anyway, it's fine. It's Warp Tuesday. I can do what I want. And she was in Hellraiser 3. There she is from Hellraiser 3. So a nice article there. And then this one, I think that was about all the Trek we had. Now the third one here, the third Starlog, featuring 10 years of Next Generation. This has got some fun stuff. So, let's see. Where do we start? We got a few... We got one here, the Vulcan family portraits. Here we go. Any second now. Zorp, cut that out. Of course, they're all making straight faces, and Zorp is smiling. Classic Vulcan family portrait, right? But the real fun stuff is here in the end, with art by Tom Holtkamp. So this is the 10th anniversary of TNG. So they did this... I'm not going to be able to show this off to you guys as well as I would like to. But anyway, look, here's a cake with kind of some different side characters on it there. All done in like that caricature style, right? Like Barclay hiding behind the back of the cake over there. Moriarty. Guinan with some Mountain Dew and some Pepsi or something. I love that. And they got all the candles in their head. So that's fantastic. Very well done. And then they go on to interview each of the main cast here. And I won't read that, but I will grace you with each of these beautiful caricatures because you can't miss it. So here's Jonathan Frakes, Commander Will Riker, number 1, Counselor Troy, Geordi LaForge, Dr. Crusher, Dr. Pulaski. I love that they did her too, right? You got to give some love to Dr. Pulaski. We've got Data and Spot. We got shaky hands here. Come on, guys, let's get it together. Shaky hands. Data. Yar. Looking badass, right? And then coming in here, these are some of the best ones here. I love this Worf. Look at this. That is fantastic. Wesley Crusher. And of course, Captain Jean-Luc Picard in caricature style. Well, there you go. Now you've got to see them too. I've graced you with their presence. Finishes off really strong too with a nice article here about Chakotay. And Chakotay apparently felt like Goofy. He felt like Goofy. So nice big article on Chakotay. And look at this. Nog's New Deal. I love this graphic that they did for this article about Nog. That's fantastic. Nog's New Deal. So a nice article on Aaron Eisenberg here. And showing him when he was on Voyager there as well. And I think that is it for the Star Trek in that one. But very strong Starlog, right? A lot going on there. Now, this one, I'll just show you a couple of things here, but it goes into a little bit from the motion picture. And what I like the most, I guess, was just seeing the drawings from the costume department, right? Like here we go. So, Captain Kirk's Class A uniform. Klingon in battle dress. This dude. That dude. Got these dudes. But here's Scotty. So, very cool. There was a lot more going on in this one too, but I don't want to go into the whole thing. And it's the black and white doesn't show up as good as the other ones do. But anyway, that was the Fantastic Films. And this one was from, it's in great shape. It's from February 1980. February 1980. 1980. That was like 25 years ago, right? No, add 20 to that, Josh. That's not right. Okay, so that was fun. Man, I like hanging around talking about Star Trek stuff. So I'm glad that some people like to hang around and listen, right? So thanks for hanging out until the end. Look forward to seeing me as a walk-on role in an upcoming Star Trek fan film sometime in the future. So that's going to be very cool. Hopefully going to visit over there to the studios and the Federation headquarters sometime again soon, and would love to make a video about that, so hopefully we'll do that. But as for right now, we're going to get right back into Double Helix Book 4, Quarantine, and the Double Helix saga just keeps on bringing the hits. They came at me and they surprised me again. Another surprise, and I'm psyched. I'm psyched to see where this one is going. It's a John Vornholt book. It's gonna be fun. So we gotta go. We're gonna get into that right now. As always, my friends, live long and prosper. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.